All right, we'll be starting in just a second. Give everybody a chance to pile in here. All right. Let's see. All right. Alrighty. Welcome, everybody. Get started here. All right. Good to see everybody. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Azure Grand Assembly April 2025. This is our monthly assembly, returning to monthly. We were doing bi-monthly assemblies for a little bit, but we're back to doing the monthly again. If this is your first Azure Grand Assembly, we have 3 announcement phases. Split with raffles in between for the community. If you're here in Final Fantasy XIV, we have a kind of a flash raffle / random roll little mini game that we'll explain once we get there, and which can also be entered on the assembly chat as well as the Twitch chat as well, and I'll explain how that works. Very, very easy. In between announcements, we'll have the raffles, and then we'll start off with our new tradition of welcoming all our new recruits within the past 30 days. And then we'll move on to some announcements, event changes, updates, and plans for the road ahead. Very exciting. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. This might be a little bit shorter than the normal assembly. So at the end, we'll also have the Q&A. That'll be like anybody that wants to ask a question about stuff we talked about here today, make a proposal or have an idea, or just want to give feedback to the council and I, that would be the time to do that. Folks are welcome to chat as well in the chat box in game or anywhere else, whether you're on Twitch or whether you're on the Grand Assembly. VC also does have a chat channel as well. So all those options are available, and as well as if you have to go or if you want to check this again later, we also will upload a recording of this assembly as well. So those things can also be seen or referenced later. We upload that as AssemblyCast, one of our 2 podcasts technically. All right, let's go ahead and begin here. Let's see. One sec. I'm changing channels over to RLS. Okay, today is, yep, okay. All right, so to kick off our assembly, I want to welcome everybody that has joined Azure Infinitum in the past month. We're going to read the names of the newest recruits to our community, starting with, going backwards here. On my list, I have Celestial Wolf, Violet Nightwalker, Daddy Savage, Oyen Kipa, Railgun Accelerator, PP Poo-Poo, returning member to our community. Sarah's Civil, also returning. Welcome back. Lynn Haslerick, Astaria Nightmare. Vierva Verza, Orion Nix, Riverus Cry. And if I get any of these wrong, let me know. Try to pronounce these best I can. Let's see. We have Vague, Avery Monroe, Obelia Atkasha, Machiavelli Rashad, Radeb Tenbe, Stevo 310, sorry, Azu Ruria, Cypher Zane, Maliat, sorry if I get this one wrong, Maliat Arganal, Vesna Marie, FX Wolf 97, BB Blaze Pro, Black Salvation, Dirag God 22, Anastasia Rosalind, Mide Jing, Kanye, Uhart Briarfall, Jacksul Wick, Carrick Finn, Psy Licorice, Nixt Licorice, Lithlee Evanescent, Drax Gakunin, Propane, Lucilla Odrade, Vercel Iris, Rowie, Higgy or Higgy, Permaid, Hungry Luffy, Char Odin, Zephyrcade, Meteonis. It's elastic. Or elitastic. Biff Broam, Kitsuyumi, Glaive Slave, Mayutent Cut, Kotomi Okazaki, Earth Shepherd, Hidden Tulia, Lawrence Blackscale, Thor's Zerukid, Kami Craze, Vivian Nova, Lucian Aurelius, Bobby Bonami, Ashley Cortison, Sky Possum, Vanity Gohik, Lolly Dolly, Bingus McBongus, Nick Einer, Arlen Flaxman. Sorry. Sorry if I butchered that. Leor Gradus, Chain Heed, Talion Wright, Pusock, Broken Bow, Celeste Rin, Damon Targaryen, Kazet Page, Hernan Cortez, Akiyama Shun, Octavio Cordell, Reagan Zombie, Silas Nocturne, Zirian Correlay, Grandpa, Michaela Moon, and let's see, John Wicht, Rem Ember, Zahaya Astartes, Liara Alexander, Alice Squilliam, Stefan West, over in WoW, it's Stefan's alt, Leafit Silver Fox, Leafit's alt, Mage Doe, Zrek Blacklight, Arcanum Moonshift. And that is within the last 30 days. Welcome new members of Azure Infinitum. Welcome, welcome. All right, and kicking off today, I would like to announce Azure Grand Duel Tournament 27 to take place May 25th, next month. 1 month from now, we will have our next 1v1 fully bracketed tournament competing for the Infinitum Championship. The date and time may be subject to change. This is a for the most part planned, but we still need to make sure that certain individuals such as hosts and champion himself, who holds the current title, Vidario Superstario Sandermore Infinitum Champion, will also be available. So there will be a confirmation in the near future, but tentatively we are looking at the 25th, May 25th. There'll be some announcements on that, as well as the rules and a page on the website describing how the tournament will operate. The rules have not changed, so it will be, at this time, as far as we know, it will be the same as the last tournament, so this will be a DPS tournament. We are taking donations for the prize pot, which is starting at 5 mil. Last time it climbed to a whopping 21 mil. The tournament victor who climbs their way through the tournament will win the pot and a shot at the Infinitum Championship. Those who take the Infinitum Championship get a listing on our website on the official Champions page, which documents Azure Champions going all the way back to the tournament's inception, way back to 2016. It's a place where our champions are immortalized and remembered for their valor in the Azure Grand Duel Tournament, listed in our history and our lore. Also comes with a very special rank, which will adapt to the permissions of whatever global rank the person that wins has. Very, very cool. Currently, our champion, Vidario Sandermore, lieutenant of the Azure Council, holds the title and is our most recent current champion, currently reigning. You'll see him around the FC, as well as here today, and sometimes on our PvP Sundays as well that we have. Super Azure Slayer Sunday, we do have that. I believe that is next week, or this coming, tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow, our bi-weekly frontline event for the UFC. It's a great place to come and learn some PvP. There's people who come that are very, very patient, who don't mind sharing, some tips and things like that. PvP today is very streamlined compared to what it was when it first started in this game, and it's a nice way to kind of get familiar with what the actions are. These days, you have a number of combos and a healing move and a potion. They've streamlined it really, really well. Everybody has a personal limit break, and it's a lot more fun than I think a lot of people realize sometimes, because the rewards, there's a lot of rewards, quite a bit of stuff from the series. Each series runs the length of the patch and is packed full of rewards, glamour, minions, mounts, all kinds of cool stuff. So again, a little shout out to our Sunday event, the bi-weekly. That's second and fourth Sundays of the month. Super Azure Slayer Sunday. The PvP tournament next month will be 1v1, so it won't be frontline. But as I said, Super Azure Slayer Sunday is a great way to come and kind of learn a little bit of the PvP and be with the group as well, too. So a little bit more interesting than just kind of like farming it alone. Other than that, we're looking forward to that. So as I said, there will be some announcement on the tournament as well as the confirmation of the time. But so far, we are shooting for the 25th of next month. We have not had an Azure Day weekend in some time. That is our quarterly 2-day FC celebration, packed full of parades, glamour contests, races, all kinds of prizes, things like that. Lots of fun stuff that we do. Riddle races and parkour challenges and just some fun social events and stuff like that. We do not have an Azure Day weekend to announce today. But it will be on the horizon as we move towards the summer. So maybe not this assembly, but an assembly to come will be announcing the next big Azure Day weekend. And we're preparing some, well, there's some top secret stuff going on that not even everybody in the council knows about, being prepared for the next big celebration. So that's going to be pretty big. It's kind of why we kind of skipped one and waited a little while to do that. We're also in the middle of patch 7.2. We're going to talk a little bit more about that soon here shortly, of what we're going to do going forward starting next month with a couple event changes. Other than that, everything else in our weekly schedule is pretty set. Currently, the state of our community at this time is seeing quite a burst in activity. We remain high in the rankings, on the activity rankings for Midgard-Stormer. These can be found on lodestone.com if you look up the weekly and the monthly rankings. Those rankings are generated by FC credits, lodestone credits, which come from FC credits, which come from all of your seals, all of your activity levels gained in FF14, things completed. Anytime you get Grand Company seals, they translate directly to FC credits as well. So folks who are soaking up the dungeon loot, stuff from retainers, going to their GCs on a regular daily, pattern to just dump a ton of gear in, getting those seals helps the FC quite a lot. Not only does it increase our credits, but it gives us a chance to buy more things for airships and subs. Gives us a chance to continue to purchase the buffs that we enjoy, as well as the lodestone credits, which rank us and also help people discover us. Since our creation, we've actually been pretty blessed to remain very high on the Midgard-Stormer activity rankings. In fact, we usually keep a spot that's within the top 5. In modern times, I've given this statement several times before, mostly as reassurance. There's a lot of people that have figured out a way to boost FC credits, so there's a lot of small, sometimes 1 or 8-man FCs, maybe 20, even 30 even, full of alts that you'll see on the list that tend to boost their credits quite a bit. So we don't really count those when we announce our official rankings. We'll just kind of skip over those and announce the FCs that actually look like FCs, where hundreds of members are active per day or stuff like that, or within 24-hour cycles whatsoever. So we're still currently in the same positions that we've seen for a long time. The top 5 tend to be pretty close together in activity credits, so they're kind of all almost lumped together in a sense. But for the purposes of promoting our activity and commenting on that, we tend to talk about it here at the assembly. It is not our goal. It is not an elitist thing for us whatsoever. That does not really fly here, but we do like to announce our rankings because we're proud of the activity of the community, and we like to kind of recognize and acknowledge the fact that we have an awesome FC. We have an awesome FC. We have an awesome community. Azure is continuing to barrel forward towards the future, one patch at a time, one step at a time, and a lot of active people here, a lot of awesome new faces too that have come on board in recent times. We have been running our recruitment campaign, a more a more active than usual campaign of recruitment where we've been rewarding 1 mil per recruit. So you bring somebody to the FC and you get the reward of a million gil, and it does stack per person. However, we have had so many come in lately that we're starting to run a little dry. So we had to put a cap on how much we're divvying out. So yeah, one specific individual, and I think the hard work deserves some recognition here. Cynic has been an awesome star recruiter, probably the most active of our recruiters in a very, very long time. So thank you very much, Cynic, for bringing I don't know how many amount of people, some feels like 30 plus recruits. I might be wrong on that, but if it's not higher than that. Awesome job bringing activity and new faces, new family to our community. Thank you, Cynic. And thank you to everybody else that has also participated in recruitment, even those that may do it as a routine through accepting apps as council members or scouts. Thank you everybody for doing that. It's really important. It's something I stress quite often that, a living community needs to have a regular flow of incoming people, and not everybody in the world is going to just like discover us right away or decide to put in an app. Sometimes we, have to go find them. And it's very good for everybody. It's very positive. It's good for the community. And how do we know? We might find somebody, who becomes very precious to the FC or ranks up. Future leaders can be found that way. We've seen it all. So we wanted to get a little bit of a boost because going forward, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We've got the rest of the Vanadil raids. One of them, the next set coming this year, the next set of Arcadian before the end of the year, as well as the field up. And who doesn't love it when the yard's popping, events are full, and parties are, multiple parties in the yard grouping, things like that. It's very good to keep this activity alive. And as we build our core of members, that inner core that tends to kind of stick around for a long time and make friends with everybody and stuff like that. We love to see that kind of community building. So that grows as we invite new faces to our community. So it's very important. I've seen communities before. I've even been in one that ceased recruitment, and it was just it will stagnate. Real life is very much a factor. Things happen. Sometimes people come and go, and even if it's not their intention, it can even be IRL reasons. And it's just important to kind of continue especially for us who are leading the FC. We need to provide that activity as much as we can. So, most people tend to appreciate an active chat as much as possible, as much as humanly possible, and folks to play with it most times of the day. So we've been working on that quite a bit. Recently, Midgard Stormer just closed, so transfers, new characters, alts, things like that are now no longer possible for however long it's closed. It's usually closed for about 4 to 8 months. This was very, very recent. However, since the patch launched, Midgard Stormer was open for about 4 weeks, and so was Sargatanis, but everything else is closed. Adamantis closed on the launch of the main patch, not the patch that brought Cosmic, but the one 5 weeks ago. And we were the only normal server open in all of Ether DC. Sargatanis is a legacy server, but as far as any normal server, we were the only normal server open for the past 5 weeks in Ether. So people were pouring into Midgard Stormer. We were getting a lot of people finding our community finder page, the listing for the FC on the rankings, like I mentioned earlier, as well as our recruitment campaign, which we actually started right before the patch, and it was just perfect timing. And before that, Midgar was closed, so we started that with it closed, and then it opened, and we were like, oh, this is great. It's like recruitment Christmas. And so some people may have wondered, like, oh, why is there such a big influx of people coming in? That's why. So, and also we were pushing it too. We still are. We would like ultimately the goal is to see the FC cap. And it's not an unreal expectation because you got to remember that there is percentages online at one time. So there's not going to be 500 people online at one time. There's going to be like 100, which is awesome. We'd love to see that at all hours of the day, constantly people to play with. So we're trying to build that. We're trying to build the highest active percentage while continuing to grow that inner core. And this is a very hard thing to do. This is probably what most active guilds aspire to do, but can't always do it. And it does require a really active leadership and support structure that can support such a thing. We're also doing it multi-game. So 14 is our core, but we have, like 10 other wings in different games. Some of them more casual than others. But 14 is basically being hardened into like a diamond for us, for Azure. So we are riding the wave right now at the top of the rankings and activity of what I would go as far to say one of the best, if not most popular servers in the game, in the most popular data center. So pat yourselves on the backs for being active and contributing to Azure. Even those that feel like they might not, even just your daily activity is contribution to our community. Like I said, we gain credits based on everybody's activity. So people join the FC, they ask what they can do. We just say, pay it forward or just be active, just do your thing, enjoy the FC. Lots of people here, we have no major issues, like hardly ever. We have so many nice people. This tends to be the community that, we just don't see a lot of issues in. Usually folks that are, of the toxic variety don't last very long here because Azure works very hard to promote a very welcoming and, safe place to have a good time. It's all about bringing people together and having a good time. And obviously, it looks like we are doing a good job at that, so we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going as long as we can. There's no stopping. So we've been doing this for going on 11 years, and we have our 11th anniversary coming up in November. There will be a new anniversary logo and a lot of plans for that coming this November. August will have its traditional celebration of the Azure Sky Day, which is kind of like it's a little bit different than an Azure Day weekend or the anniversary. It celebrates different milestones of the FC and holds a single day of events, as well as some tours of our different plots and different event estates that people have dedicated for Azure events, and some fun facts and some cool prizes to win. Some other games and stuff that we do, we also do on there, as well as a big screenshot too for the FC. But we've got a lot of those opportunities coming up this year, including Summerfest, which is also yet to be announced, but will be taking place in August as well. So the second half of this year is going to have a lot of stuff in it. Right now, between then and now, that's the next thing we got to talk about. So starting next month, we are officially going to be hosting our weekly Field Op Night, which is going to feature the new Crescent Isle stuff. And we've talked about this before and just around the FC, as well as mentioned it in previous assemblies. But plans are really like moving forward now. We're getting an idea of who's going to help, who wants to host, who wants to be on hand for logistics and things like that, how much streaming will be done and what content we'll make out of it, how we're going to organize it through our bots and ads and social media posts. There's actually a lot that goes into our events. It's a lot. It's event posters and we programming events to ping and posting. We've got 14 different sites that we post our news on. And our daily to weekly game news has returned to form. Went on a little bit of break last month, Yeah, so there's a lot of information coming. The field op night will be held on Fridays, primetime hours, which is our primetime slot. That's our 5:45 PST grouping, 8:45 EST grouping. That may also be subject to change. When we do these kind of things, we have to kind of like see how popular they are at first, and then if there's any adjustments that need to be made, or we have an Azure Grand Assembly like this, and there's a bunch of people saying, "Hey, that time sucks," and most people can't make it or something, which usually doesn't happen. You know, we'll still listen. We'll try to adjust, or we'll even do a second time. We'll even do a second grouping. It is very normal for us to have 2 field op nights a week. Right now, we're planning for the one until we know what we're dealing with. And we have an idea because Azure did, during Stormblood, start field op FC events back then for Eureka. And we got to the point where we realized there's 4 zones. We need to group per zone. Obviously, they weren't all out at the same time. It started with Animos and then moved on to Pagos, Pyros, and Hydatos, but we figured out, a way to work with that. And then when Zadnor and Bozja came out, Bozja Battlefront nights and Bozja Battlefront catch-up nights, for late night run and stuff like that. This is kind of all up in the air, but we'll be starting with the single Crescent night on Friday nights, and then might add another one in the week. So bear with us, but that will be starting next month. I believe, let's see, do we have a date on I should have saved the date on I'll look it up really quick. 7/2 release schedule. I know I'm pretty sure there's a date on it. Let's see. Yes, here it is. All right, so May 27th. May 27th will be the first week that we have Crescent Isle content. And that means the event will be... First Crescent Isle Azure event is going to be Friday the 2nd of... No, sorry, that's the wrong calendar. That's April and May. Okay, so it comes out on the 27th. It'll be the 30th. Yeah, it'll be the 30th of May. So May 30th will be the first Crescent Isle field op night, just a couple days afterwards. So that's perfect because that gives us a chance to at least go in there and tool around and see what's going on in the Crescent Isle. And then if it's it's going to be extremely popular. I kind of already, I don't even need to say if it's going to be, but we'll see what the demand is and how many people are involved in the FC, and we'll probably start talking about a second night for it as well, because once a week as an FC is great, but this is one of those contents that is really crucial for groups and helpful. And the idea of our FC events is to be a fun time to play together, build camaraderie, but also be helpful. It needs to be helpful, and it needs to be something that can be convenient for you all to attend and go, oh, hey, all I got to do is come to the FC yard, be grouped within 15 minutes, and bam, we're off accomplishing our goals. Yeah. So with Eureka, it was an expedition-like themed. It was very harsh on levels and things like that at first. People actually had to be within the same level as each other, which is another reason why we had to do like so many different groups for it. Bozja is the Stormblood relic content. Bozja is the Shadowbringers relic content. Eureka is the Stormblood relic content. And with Bozja, they took a lot of stuff that they learned from Eureka, and then they made it 2 zones instead of 4, and then changed the level system, and then made it to where you had resistant ranks and the resistance actions, kind of like the Logos actions. I'm imagining that the knowledge system that's coming out is similar to the Logos actions, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Do we have another live letter before then? Well, yeah, we're definitely going to have another live letter before then. So live letter is usually what we analyze, and then we can kind of tell like what they're going to do. So then we'll plan. So there will be a whole announcement for when the Azure event for it takes place on that week. That'll be May 30th. And then that'll kind of say this is what the event is. This is what the event does. And the Crescent Isle, that's the Dawn Trail relic thing, but it's also going to have it's its own content as well. So with Bozja, you didn't have to do the actual relic weapons. You could just enjoy the Bozja storyline too. So it's going to be kind of like that too. So this is like Crescent Isle. They're taking everything that they learned from Eureka and Bozia. Bozia had the critical engagements. Eureka had the NM trains and stuff like that. We're probably going to see a mixture of both, as well as collecting the knowledge. There'll also be the special jobs, things like Cannoneer and Time Mage, things like that are coming. And we're going to be needing to level those jobs and collect that knowledge to be able to take on the harder content or the critical engagements, things like that. Those are the big like 40-man fates that you get locked into when you sign up for them and stuff like that while you're in the zone. A lot of interesting stuff is coming, and right now we've got Cosmic X is really popular. That's really big, and that's going on. I'm not really sure what we can do as an FC to organize for that, but I know there's been some requests for like community features, things like Discord reminders for pings and things like that. I actually meant to get on that this morning and then just ran out of time basically. So I'm gonna set up something so that way people can actually subscribe to red alerts and things like that. So it kind of helps more people get those messages and ping. I'm gonna do my best to see what I can just put together for that. So but yeah, there's some stuff to look forward to. So May is not only going to have the tournament for Azure, but also the start of Azure's Field Op Nights. And I do have a sense of pride that Azure has been at the forefront of every era of this game. Any content that's ever come out, we've been at the forefront of. So we have seen field ops from the beginning to the end, both times previously. This is the third one in the game, and they are 16-month campaigns. So for us, that means, planning ahead the first chunk of months, and then the second map will be out next year, some months before 8.0. So looking ahead at seasonal events, our own seasonal events, that is, our anniversaries, our Azure Days, our tournaments, which we're going to start trying to do either monthly or every other month, because those are really popular, and we want to see more people entering and winning those things, as well as the content that the game is coming out with as well. So we know that there's going to be 2 more sets of raids for both 8-man and 24, or 1 more for 8-man, and yeah, we'll be matching that content as usual throughout the rest of the year. That's kind of a roadmap for 2025 going into 2026. It looks really, really good. It's very bright, and that just covers FF14. So we got a bit more to talk about here in a moment, but I am really happy to finally be able to kind of put a date on these things and say, well, hey, look, May has got a new event and our tournament added. And we are going to take a quick second to do our first raffle, and then we'll get on to the next topics. So this is how this works. I'm going to come to the center of the room so I can clearly see everybody's messages, because the length of this room is actually the length of Say chat. So certain people don't want to miss the chat, right? On Twitch or on Discord. If you are on Discord or you are on Twitch only, or that is where you want to enter, you can enter a 3-digit number from 000 to 999 to enter the raffle. Just one, please. If you are in game and would like to enter the raffle, go ahead and hit /random. And I will random in a moment to see what I roll, the roll and the number closest to mine. Closest to mine. So if you post a number in any of our chats that I mentioned, or you roll something and that roll is closest to mine, please no double entries, just either in chat or in roll. And we have some nice prizes donated to our prize pool. I'll give just a moment to give everybody a chance. I see stuff popping up all over. Very awesome. We have some folks that are watching by stream who are not in game at the moment. Give them a chance to post a 3-digit number in the chat from 000 to 999, and you have to have a active FF14 account in order for me to trade you the item. This is specifically exclusive to FF14. We do have members across our Azure universe. Maybe watching from other games where this link is shared. And we'll be addressing some of our wings as well later in this assembly. Such a fantastic turnout. It's awesome to see everybody here with us. All right, just checking the chats now and seeing, making sure I've got all the entries here. All right, there's one on there. There's one on, okay. Yep, got entries all over the place. All right, let's say one more minute. One more minute. Very nice, okay. Defensor. Yep. Okay, yep, there's another entry. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll. Drum roll. Should have got a drum roll soundboard ready. That would have been good. Okay. Opening up the numbers on everything here, making sure. Okay, cool. Here we go. And the moment of truth. 651. So number closest to 651. Let me open up full screen here. All right. 651, 651. Okay. None over there. None over there. Was it Gooblin? Let's see. Where's the name at? Chat's saying Gooblin. Oh, 614. The very last one that entered. Okay, okay. Yep, just confirming. Gooblin, yeah. Yep, looks like Gooblin. Gooblin, congrats. Where are you at? Go ahead and trade you. There you are. All right, Astartes. Is that a 40K reference? All right, we have a Royal Hound. Nice. Congratulations. One of the newer-ish minions, I believe, from the current patch. All right. There will be more raffles. Don't worry. We've got a few more goodies stowed away here for everybody who's watching and here with us. All right, so just going to go down the current status of FC Weekly events and then community-wide events. Right now, we got, like I said earlier, Super Azure Slayer Sundays. It's every Sunday. No change there. However, there is the re-edition of the Cartino map that came back out in the patch. May or may not have mentioned that last assembly, but since it's been out, some of us have had a chance to play on it together. It is really fun. It is really, really cool. They brought it back with a bang. It's got some new mechanics and stuff added. That's the Borderland Ruins, which takes place in Cartino. Pretty cool. I can't wait for the day that actually pops up as the daily for our event when it matches up. Since the PvP maps are on a rotation, sometimes the map that is done during the event is, I mean, we can't change it, so that will alternate depending on the weeks that the event pops up on. But no change there other than that addition. Very fun, though. Again, great place to come familiarize yourself with PvP and get some tips from FC mates and things like that. As with all of our events are a non-judgmental space. So people who are new to things are very much welcome. We want to make sure that everybody is aware of, what they might have at their disposal, or how fun something can be, or what you can unlock, things like that you might not know are in the game, or maybe you're wondering how to get them. That's one of them. There's a lot of stuff from that PvP battle pass, quote unquote battle pass that they've got. And there's, glamours, mounts, minions, things coming out all the time in those season pass things. And it's a free pass. It's not like battle passes in their games. So it's pretty neat. And you get a really long time to do it. You got like 4 months to do it. So it's pretty cool. Better with the FC, like most things are. Mondays, Monstrous Mondays, for the last few weeks has been running the Recollection Extreme Fight. That is our weekly EX learning party for EX4, the 4th EX of Dawn Trail. It is the Zillennia fight. Don't worry, that name is not a spoiler. It's not from anything else. But the Zillennia fight has been going pretty well. We've seen a lot of people learning mechanics, myself included, when I popped in a couple weeks ago. Big shout out to our host Coco, who does an awesome job over there helping people learn and explaining things, as well as a thank you to anyone else who's attended, who's been very informative, about mechanics and things like that. It's really great to see not only our hosts, but also our members join with a positive spirit, and coming in and realizing that we're early in the content, and it's most important that we're learning the mechanics more than just farming clears, because that's not going to happen right away. So we always put that little disclaimer out there. But if you are interested in getting involved in learning that content, that is the place to go. If you're free on Monday nights, if you're not, well, we do our best with the timings. We know that not everybody can make it to everything, but that shouldn't stop you. We've still got an LFG channel, helpful people in the FC that might be able to answer some questions at least. Can't promise that you'll find somebody who will go and just go through every run with you for hours on end, but you will definitely find people pointing you in the right direction, and maybe others that want to get involved on that too. Learn together. Monstrous Mondays, though, is definitely an excellent place if you can make it. It's very, 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 very good learning environment. Tuesdays, we are continuing the Azure Arcadian Tuesdays runs. Those have not changed at all, except for the addition of them when they transitioned from the Alliance raid, the Vanadil raid, over to Arcadian. So that will continue to run Arcadian Cruiserweight tier all the way through this patch until we get to the very end of it, or maybe everybody that attends regularly is sick of it and nobody's showing up anymore. But that usually doesn't happen. We usually get to run it right into the release of the next one. In the first couple weeks, for especially the day one, week one clear, we had an awesome event night. The second week as well was also pretty hardy, lasting deep within to the night. Don't forget, we are running primetime and late night for that one. They are back to back, and depending on the way they go, usually there's a good hour break in between. Sometimes parties are still getting caught up a little bit on the M3 and M4 stuff. That's the Cruiserweight M3, M4. But that's okay, because again, we always see it clear. But what's most important is that learning and patience is present. So, it's definitely a good FC event for folks that are getting into the normal raids, wanting to learn them or clear them with an FC party and not randoms. And also, again, thank you to those that have come to Azure Arcadian Tuesdays, who have hosted alongside me and helped support that event. A lot of times we see what I call double attendance, which is double what we expect for a singular party event. And then the more the merrier. So there's plenty of folks that have kind of got what they needed already, others that are unlocking it and coming in, and others that like to do it each week. So it's a good couple of different crowds that we see. Usually at least 3 parties a week that we see go through primetime and late night. So pretty awesome stuff. That'll be remaining the same. Wednesdays, Wondrous Wednesday nights, recently had a big refresh a couple months ago. This is another one of the longest running Azure events, running since, I believe, 2016, during the launch of Wondrous Tales. Wondrous Wednesday nights. Big thank you to Ronan, our host, as well as others who backed it up. Cynic, who backed it up recently. And I believe, let's see, who else is on the list here? Vid and those that have come and attended. Just always a good night to kick back and get those Wondrous Tales stickers together. There is a reason why we do it as a later night event. We have seen some feedback for trying to do Wondrous Tales at other times. Sometimes we will try to do that. Other times we just don't have as many people in logistics that are available for more than one event in a day. But as with recruitment and as people promote in the FC, we are getting more people added to logistics over time. Our ultimate goal is to get at least 5 to 6 backup hosts on most events. So there's always people available to do this. And for those that don't know, our the way we handle hosting in Azure is our hosts come up through the Scout ranks, which is the support ranks. That's the first step up from membership. And they will stay active for a time, and then they will continue to stay active, but then request training. Training is 3 sessions with a leader hosting a live event, so that way we know that you're not buckling under pressure, or you're familiar with what can come up during a grouping, things like that. Members are welcome to host their own events at any time outside of FC official groupings. But this is a way that we can kind of sort of quote-unquote train and place people in positions that can continue to group in the FC yard and follow the protocol. Why is protocol important? Because it's uniformity that makes it to where everybody knows how things operate. And they're like, this is a 15-minute grouping. This is a learning party. There's just different expectations for different events, but we keep a uniformity through the way that they're grouped. So having organized hosting and having things like that just contributes to the giant snowball that is Azure success. So, and we're always fine tuning it. It's not always perfect, and we always welcome that feedback. But when it comes to suggestions for events, we want to hear everything that people want. We want to know what the community wants. We can't always promise that it'll happen right away, but a lot of what we have is because people have brought it up. So there has been question about bringing back Blue Mage content. There's been question about having just a different time or an additional time added for a current event or something like that. Just knowing what people want helps. If it's only 1 or 2 people asking and then not really a whole lot of other interest, sometimes those type of things could just be good for member grouped runs or LFG channel. Don't forget our LFG channel. If there's something you want to do and you're looking for people who might also be looking to do similar content or help each other, LFG channel in Discord right under FF14 chat. Great place to post. We've seen some great posts there recently. So yeah, there's really been a lot of activity lately in everything. We've seen folks talking about looking at maybe doing an ultimate together. We've seen folks wanting to get in on those EX primals, pesky old EXs they want to clear out and stuff like that. And it's just whatever we can do to promote more people playing together, we'll try to provide those those systems and everything like that. With Treasure Thursdays and Friday Night Treasure Fights, those events have not changed at all, except for the addition of loot that has been added with the patch. We're now seeing some of the loot kind of, they say that some of the drops have increased or decreased depending on the loot, but there is more to earn now than there was at the start. So we're seeing the weapon coffers, those are still big ticket items. The leather straps sell for a lot. There's also a number of orchestrating rolls and hairstyles and other things that can drop, including the gemstones that unlock the mount and more dropping during maps. So keep in mind that it is a luck based thing, so there could be nights where not a lot of portals pop, and luck is a little dry, but stick with it. And you're still making gil, you're still making tomes. We do 2 of those a week, so there's quite a bit of opportunity. There's also a lot of people who like to do maps on the side too, so keep that in mind, that even if you just ask, for spend like an hour in chat just posting, hey guys, in an hour I'm going to be doing this run, we're going to do some maps or something like that. And if anybody wants to join, there's some people really don't know like how good maps can be. You get the latest tome, you get all kinds of stuff that can sell for millions. There's some jackpot items that are huge, and you never know when you're going to get those. It's a 50% chance for portals to spawn from a map, and then there's the treasure dungeons that have the 3 or the 5 floors. So yeah, it's a good time. There's actually a lot of Treasure Thursdays and Friday Night Treasure Fights videos on our YouTube channel, full of hilarity, and it's probably I want to say it's almost the funniest night of the week, the funniest 2 nights of the week, because we really get into some like crazy behavior during those VC calls, and as well as when I record. I've been making sure that folks know that I'm recording. Doesn't really mean anybody has to hold back. It's just something I've been letting folks know for it's for our channels or archival purposes, and showing folks what things are like in Azure. That's something that we started kind of earlier last year, off and on, not every event, but a lot of events. We're providing this through our social media and our YouTube. We're providing a lot of content to just kind of be like, oh, I wonder what it's like in that free company. And then you can see it. You can see us having fun, having a good time, doing our events, laughing together. It's great. And if you're in the community and you haven't popped into too many events or VCs, definitely check out some of those videos, because they're pretty funny. We get some pretty freaky things going on in there. It's ends up birthing some memes in our community, some inside jokes that are just too good. So, but going forward here, I do want to mention Mega Mountathon and our Azure Fate Farmers, like we had today, both going strong. Fate Farmers has restarted. It's starting with Urkopacha again, so we're going back through all the shared fate stuff for Dawn Trail. Keep in mind that we did do almost a whole 2 years of Endwalker stuff, so we've only gone through the Dawn Trail Fate ranks 1 time, so we're going down through another cycle. We're starting with Urkopacha. 2 weeks ago, we did our last Living Memory one, so we're back to Urkopacha again. Regardless of zone, these are good for EXP. They're good for farming bicolored gemstones. The what are they called? The vouchers. The vouchers sell for a lot, but also work up towards a rare mount. Things like that. And then for Mega Mountathon, we have just finished, I think it was 3 or 4 events of doing Rubicante. Man, did we see a lot of lynxes drop. We got a lot of those lynxes dropped for people, especially the last one. Everybody walked out with lynxes. So, that being said, look forward to next week's Mega Mountathon starting Golbez Extreme. We're going to be taking on Golbez now. So keep in mind, as we move forward on that event, it does get a little bit more challenging, just a teeny bit, because it's one more patch forward towards the, closer to the current content. It's still unsynced, but we will be needing to know a couple mechanics to survive. So, but it's fun, and we'll see how it goes. We've never tried that one before for Mega Mountathon, so we worked through everything else so far in Endwalker, but now we're at Golbez. So Golbez appears. So going forward, I believe that covers all weekly events and their current statuses. Don't forget, we also have Sunday Huntathons in our Monster Hunter Wilds wing. Yep, that is where we're kind of get together, see what people need. The game is still pretty early on. It's only been out for a little bit over a month. It's I'm working through the game myself. I got it on launch, but then I had a whole bunch of stuff come up in March where I just put it on hold, and then I'm not too far, so I don't know. how much I'll be there, but Defensor and Celine are running it. There are wing commanders for that wing. You can come along and let the channel know in grouping. When we group for a wing, we group in a VC, wing VC. So grouping will be in the wing VC, and whatever you might need, monster parts or things to farm, just let the channel know when they're grouping there. Also, Vidario, our champ, he's been there a few times as well too. Yeah, it's a fun time to be able to group up over in Monster Hunter. Currently, the clan is capped. We fully capped that clan, but every once in a while, we might be able to remove the most grossest inactive person. Gross as in the most inactive, I should say. The most inactive person will get removed, and then we'll let in a brand new person. And I know recently we removed a few randoms that just joined that weren't part of the Discord or any other Azure service to make more room. But if we need to make more room, then we can. So if you haven't joined the clan yet over at Monster Hunter, there's some information on that as well in the should be in the Monster Hunter forum and our forum here. And you can always contact a leader if you need help with something. Like I said, Celine, Defensor, I believe Vid can help. I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kazuha had a rank in the thing too. And then there's me as well. So, if you want to get on that and hunt together with Azure over in Wilds, just post in the chat or let us know. It's pretty easy to get in there. It's just if you look it up, it's capped. Yes. Thank you, Def, in chat. Defensor said, a little note, if you do join us in Monster Hunter, put your Hunter ID and game name in the channel. There is a channel for it. If you see Monster Hunter MH chat, Monster Hunter chat, on our channel list, just under that is Monster Hunter Forum, and there is a big thread that says Hunter ID repository. So you're going to want to post that there because there's all kinds of names on there that, we need to know who's who. So that makes it a little easier. Yep. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see more people join us for those. And those are on Sundays. There's a listing on the event channel as well, where those are taking place at 4 EST, 1 PST. And that's 3 Central, so yeah. I think it was 1, right? Hold on, let me check again. It's very new. I haven't memorized it yet. Huntathon is... What is it? Not in the event channel? Oh, it's in Monster Hunter. Yeah, let me see. Oh, I need to add it to the event channel. Yeah, it is. Yeah. 431. Yep. So 1 Pacific, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. And that doesn't mean that's the only time that you can play with the clan. You can let the channel know, hey, does anybody want to hunt or something like that? And, surely there's folks that play every day. So great way to group up over there. Also another opportunity to play with SC mates in a different world. So speaking of different worlds, I'm going to go down the list. Currently over in Destiny 2, we are days away from seeing the next bit of content. There was some stuff revealed recently, but the current season, that would be the Heresy season, is currently going strong. We're in Act 3, which is the final part. We're now at the point where our clan over in Destiny is almost capped. So we've had a lot of people joining over there recently. Events over there, which we were doing up to 5 per week, are currently on a hiatus. It's kind of a weird time in the game where there's just a lot of small group content that tends to be really popular, and 3-man and even solo stuff that it seems like a lot of people are doing. So we also still need to post a poll on what the best times for the current crowd is for events over there. But we were doing Crucible nights, Gambit nights, Vanguard nights, seasonal content nights, raid nights, all that stuff. And so if you're over there in our Destiny clan, maybe just letting us know what you're interested in too will help a lot. Recently, our D2 wing commander, V, recently retired. is still playing the game, but has stayed within the D2 community and stepped down. And it has defaulted back to me. So if anybody needs anything, I believe Terry and I think Defensor, who's in it, should also be able to accept an invite if you really need one, or can't figure out how to apply, or we can figure it out. Just message us. But that's kind of where the clan is at right now. We are just a little bit away from capping level. Capping level on the season is really awesome because we tend to do that with our activity every time. So that means go to the clan vendor, go talk to Hawthorne and get your engrams and stuff like that. Those are all freebies unlocked by Azure for anybody in the Destiny clan. And don't forget, Azure is up, should be up right now. And you can always check what goodies Azure is selling. We did have a bot posting that not too long ago. I'm going to fix that and get that going again, so you can just check the D2 channel to check Azure once again. And again, we'll be looking into seeing what everybody's interested over there and getting events back up. Seasonal content is really big right now. I know with Revenant, Onslaught had come back, and then it kind of came and went, even though it's still in the game for now. But yeah, we'll be working on that. Again, just like with the Monster Hunter clan, because it's limited, even though it's 100, that's still pretty limited for us. If someone needs in and there's no space, a quick DM or a message in the D2 chat, we'll do some house cleaning as well soon. So, maybe we'll look at the most inactives and start taking them off. Usually we don't have to do that in some things, but if we get to a point where a clan is capped, we want to make sure that the active people can get in and it's not too hard on anybody. I manage all the wing rosters and everything and have everything down to a science, so it's pretty easy to do that, but we haven't had to do that just yet with D2. Going down the list here, recently, very recently, and I mean really recently announced, we talked about, I think I mentioned this as well in our last assembly, we have a World of Warcraft wing of Azure that is still building. It is currently welcoming anybody who wants to join it. Alts are also welcome. We don't really have a cap on that right now. This is just, it's got tons of space, so anybody that is interested or plays World of Warcraft and wants to be in the Azure Guild for that, we welcome you to join us. You can find us in the guild listing, put in an application, or let us know if you want an invite. There's several of us that can hop on pretty much at any time, especially I know I can with the game that runs. I usually run it next to me off to the side. And this is kind of a newer venture for Azure, like I mentioned last assembly. We're aware of how some opinions on the game might be for players in other games that may not like that one, but just like our other wings, we just ask folks to be supportive as we provide these opportunities for people to play together. Over in WoW, we do have a bank set up, some resources that are being gathered. Our Scout Sergeant Marshall and Scout Kikorikori, also Marshall's known as Kikimo Kiki here in 14, who hosted our Fate event today, actually. They have been awesome in helping develop the WoW wing and getting that going for everybody. We were seeing some folks from 14, we're seeing some folks from WoW. Like, it's really cool to see more folks joining and coming together over there. In the future, we would also like to see the start of an event and some more stuff going on. The whole thing is set up to be casual. We're not trying to be the hardcore raiding guild or anything like that. But it's a great time to just pop in, kick it over there and relax. And if that's a game that you like or you're curious about it, I personally don't believe there's ever been a better time to check out that game. I'm not a veteran of it myself, and being extremely new and not knowing what's going on, I found a pretty casual and fun experience, with a very unique art style and chill community. And we are on Moonguard, so there's a lot of interesting things that happen there. Yeah, needless to say, and it's quite fun. It's quite therapeutic when you spend a lot of time in in other games, you might want to pop in there and see what it's like as far as the Azure version of being in a WoW guild. A little bit different than what a lot of people have probably experienced in the past, whether it was good or bad. And like with everything else, we need people to join it so that we can develop it. So yeah, I actually log in and log out in Goldshire I just leave it up and just watch the insanity, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely does not have the terrible things I've heard, like, were like, they were really exaggerated. It's actually really fun, just to see stuff going on over there. Similar, little bit similar to our Balmung, but I would say less weird and just like funny. But that's my experience so far. So, but the chat's making me laugh. Yeah. So yeah. So that's available. Just wanted to let everybody know. That's very new to us. So, we're trying to promote that a lot as well. And just a disclaimer too, that 14 is our crown jewel. It is our core. So, when we're developing wings, we take that into mind, and we're not trying to overshadow one over the other. So, we're not going, there's no need to worry about leaders like, oh, the leaders are gone off to the other game because they all got interested in something else and didn't come back here. And that's not going to happen. That was the premise of us, our cautiousness on that was the premise of our developing the wings. The goal is to provide more popular places that are viable for Azure communities to help grow the community. And we've already seen people from other wings get interested in the FC even and come over here to 14. So, and vice versa. So that's awesome. And when we see folks that are like, oh, I might have to leave the Discord because I'm joining a different group, or I stopped playing 14. They don't have to, because we've got that option in another game as well. So, and there's a lot of people that play more than one thing. So, we just want to continue to promote these and develop them. Well, actually, really quick here, before we move on to, I was going to mention ESO next. Real quick, we do have one special promotion that I wanted to make here while we were talking on the subject of WoW. So let's see here. This just happens to line up with the very day of our assembly. Let me see here. Where are you at? Okay, hold on. First world problem. We've got so many active people, I have to sort through all the names. I probably skipped it out of excitement already, by accident. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, if I just look at the rank on the right side, it'll make it go faster. Yep. Aha! Oh yeah, I was looking for the M one. Silly me. Okay. So I want to congratulate Kikimo Kiki, Marshall, on completing event training in Azure and stepping up from Scout Sergeant to being officially assigned to our Azure events and logistics team as a event host. And with that also comes Scout Captain promotion. Congratulations, Kikimo, aka Marshall, aka Zaraveth in World of Warcraft. Hope I said that right. And also, due to his efforts in our wing, as well as another wing, which I actually want to announce that in a moment. So 2 wings and activity here in 14, helping host events here in our FC. With that promotion also comes the official title of Wing Commander for our World of Warcraft wing. Marshall will be help spearheading the wing alongside Corey. Corey is currently our scout and a pathfinder, like a junior wing commander, alongside newly promoted wing commander Marshall, overseeing our WoW guild. And thank you too for everything you guys do and all the hard work that you're putting in, setting that up, building up gold, working on building up gold to help pay subscriptions even, gathering stuff for the chests, and telling me what's what when I don't know what things are over there. Thank you guys. Congrats. Yeah, I'll update that over in WoW too when I get a second here. Yeah, Kiki Marshall is one of those that is very active in multiple games and can easily be reached out to if anyone he wants to join one of those or whatnot, as well as Corey. Yeah, thank you guys. And that leads me to, before I get on to the other wings, that leads me to actually announcing there is a new wing. There is a new wing that doesn't have a channel yet and has not been announced in our announcement channel. We've officially opened up Azure Legion in Star Citizen and are recruiting now. The link to the organization page for Azure Legion will be posted here with an announcement, as well as pinned in a Star Citizen channel, as well as other Star Citizen resources made for our channels and website and those locations. And this game is a long time project. It is the most expensive video game development in history. It is nearing $1 billion in development costs, and has a lot of support from many sci-fi fans and donors and people who have poured their love into Star Citizen. And we have several really knowledgeable Star Citizen members here already in our community, who I've already seen play together, and we have several just since we opened the organization have joined it. This game is actually in a late stage alpha, so it looks like it's complete, but it's still got a little ways to go. But there's already guilds, and we were kind of thinking that this would be the time to get involved because this thing is huge. Technologically, it's extremely impressive. There's a lot of stuff that's gone into it that looks really, really good, and it's now closer than ever to its full. It's a late stage alpha, but they're getting close to 1.0. So they're skipping beta. So they're basically got one more version release, I believe, from what I've heard. And Squadron 42 is the single player one that goes with it too. So there's an MMO and that too. So it's happening, and it's picking up some steam too as it goes. And we thought that this would be a really great time to get involved with that. Over the years, we have seen people talk about it or play together, but actually supporting it officially and building an Azure clan there, it just provides another opportunity for people to play together in a popular game. So not everything has to have a clan, but when we do see people actively playing together in another game that has a clan system and is viable for Azure Infinitum, we'll do that. And then we'll also include it in our weekly news posts across our websites and socials and things like that. So it's going to get the full support of an Azure wing because it's a new one. It's a brand new, like a baby was born. Just like our WoW guild. So very cool to see 2 new wings this year. Very awesome. And yes, it is a kind of high-end PC game. But it's got some really cool stuff. I mean, imagine being in a cockpit and seeing the face of your friend's character pop up on a screen, and it's actually, tracking, like it's got like eyeball tracking, and you can even scan yourself into the game. I mean, there's just all kinds of cool stuff. It's very much a space life sim, however you want to live life in space. Very, very interesting. So it starts by buying your ship, and then that's basically your copy of the game is the ship that you buy. And there's a lot more details. We can't go over all of them here at the assembly, but very exciting to see Azure Legion Star Citizen organization founded officially and first time announced here at the April 2025 assembly. Cat's out of the bag now. Yes. Our scout Aaron Aaron Wells and our wing commander here, Marshall Kiki. He very, very good resources. They know a lot about the game. Yeah. Yep, yep. And like I said, anything is possible. And I see some ideas for other wings too. Anything's possible. We just want to make sure that it has the viability. The viability means there's enough people playing together. It's something that's easy to recruit for. Something that is long term, supported by a company that's not going to die overnight. There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into it. So we're really cautious about what decisions are made for wings, because there's also games that people can play together anytime and hang out in VC Hangout and just play whatever co-op game they want to play with each other. But when we have a wing, it goes into a full support mode where we have a channel and resources and all that, and news, and it gets included in our schedules and things like that. So go forward. I've returned to regular updates over in ESO, over in Elder Scrolls Online. Recently, I was about to do another roster update. Recruitment has returned over there as well. And we have a guild that's active on the PC and the PlayStation for Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls just recently announced this 2025 content pass, which comes in place of an expansion that they're not doing this year, but it has almost as much content as an expansion, and it is a continuation to the Worm Cult story that started in the original Elder Scrolls Online story. So it's kind of like a part two. It'd be like if ARR had a part two in a sense, even though 14 stories all connected, but something like that. Really neat. A couple new dungeons, kind of a lot of other content coming. We've had a few new recent joins over in ESO. It's always good to see people from our other worlds joining us over there as well. Keep in mind that's it's a smaller one. We got about 40 people between the PC and PlayStation that kind of pop in and out casually. But recruitment has returned over there as well, and is returning. So we expect that to start growing, and then the popularity of the game will kind of go back up again when the new content is released. And it's just kind of in that state where things kind of ebb and flow. Guild Wars 2 still active, however, very, 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 very casual guild over there. As some may know, a while back we had to rebuild it. But it is there. It is available to join that game. PSO2 NGS Azure Alliance is still around. Also recently restarted. So, kind of getting its first steps in again. And SOTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic. We see about 100 people, maybe 80 to 90 people that are active over there. Buffs are always up. They have nice month-long buffs for the guild, as well as the conquest bonuses and reputation bonuses. I've been keeping up on the weekly invasions, so those are continued to be updated over there for those that join us over in SOTOR. Doing our best over there. We've got a fully fleshed out flagship as well, with lots of NPCs and resources inside. Pretty good stuff there, as well as the guild chest. Trying to do whatever we can to build up funds for more buffs and guild points and things like that. I think we've made it to 64 or 65 on the ranking. Not bad, not bad. That's not a guild ranking, that's the ranking level of the guild itself, which as it levels up, it gets more perks and stuff. So I want to keep seeing that growing. That's doing pretty well. Recruitment returning to SOTOR, as well as I get kind of back on the swing of things. I had to kind of prioritize 14 for a little bit and just check rosters and stuff for the wings, because for those that know, I had a water leak thing that happened last month and had to move a lot of stuff out and back in. And that took a lot of time. So Rika was a little overcumbered with things to do for a bit. So getting back in the swing of things. Our Throne and Liberty Guild still active, about 20 members over there. It's very small. The guilds are like 70-man guilds. So that's actually not a small guild. It's just a smaller guild. And the new expansion came out about a month ago. That's going pretty well. I forgot what level we are as a guild, but it's there. It's there. We'll put it that way. I think the most activity in our community right now is coming from 14, Destiny, Monster Hunter, WoW, Star Wars, and then, now up and coming Star Citizen. So But as far as our other wings and things to do, there's always stuff to look forward to and always things going on, and there's always building, and there's always a place to fit in. So if anyone's ever wondering where we might need help at, or what's a good place to get involved with, just ask. Okay, we got a few more things to talk about, but before we get there, I'm going to go ahead and hold our second raffle. Going to do the same as before. So if you've joined us since our last raffle or you forgot the rules, just go ahead and put a 3-digit number in either Twitch chat, Grand Assembly chat on Discord, or /random in-game. And I will be /randoming myself, and we'll see what number my number is closest to. I'm going to put them up on the screen there. Sorry for Twitch viewers, I actually meant to have that full screened. I took it down for a second when I did the last raffle and forgot. All right, seeing... Okay. Also, any questions that I can see here that may not have already been answered, I'll also answer those during the Q&A. I see a couple in our other chats that I haven't noticed. Let me pull up assembly chat again. Just give a couple moments here, about a minute or so, to give everybody a chance to enter. Lots of exciting stuff on the horizon. Yeah, and again, our Azure wings, you know, it's nice that we're at the point in our community where we can provide those and kind of provide, like, you know, fun spaces in different worlds for people to play together. We'd like to see those grow, and maybe even people in those games discover our other ones, or even come to the FC. Be really cool too. All right. Okay, last chance to throw in a 3-digit number in Twitch, Grand Assembly chat, or in-game /random. You win something good from the prize pool. Yes, there is something I want to mention about the prize pool here in just a second. I think I see one person maybe typing. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and post my number. Number closest to mine wins a prize. Like I said, if you win through Discord or Twitch, your prize will be delivered to you in game, but you have to have an active FF14 subscription. Oops, there we go. Nice. Okay, 255. 255. Let's see. Rack. Very, 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 very close. It might be Rack. Let's see. Looking at Twitch, looking at Discord. Let's see. 255 was 294. Okay. 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 Oh. Marshall was 217, but let's see. Let me see. That is... Yeah, math. So it'd be 3, let's see, 8 and 30, 41. That one is 43 away? Wait, hold on. Okay, so 294. Wait, hold on. Why am I? Yeah, that does say 217, yeah. So it's 333. Okay. So that's 39. Yeah, 39. Why did I say 33? Oh, yeah. Marshall is 38 away. Rack is 39 away. So it's by 1. Yeah, it's by 1. Yeah, that's what was throwing me off. I was trying to be really cautious about it to make sure it was fair. So, wow, by 1. All right, congratulations, Marshall. Be trading you whenever you are back in game. Oh, you are in game. Yeah, that's right. I saw you on Twitch, and I don't know why my brain assumed. Okay. Yep. Oh, you're in bed. Okay. You get a parasol and 200k. Yep. Fancy way to protect you from the rain. Also, the parasol matches your glam a little bit. Congratulations. So you get a promotion and a parasol. Nice. Alrighty. I love the 2 Dark Knights here doing the pose. It looks really epic. That's cool. That's really cool. All right, guys, we are on the last stretch of things to talk about here, followed by a Q&A. When Q&A comes up, there'll be some instructions on how you can take the stage, if anybody wants to do that in VC or in-game with chat. But before we get there, I did bribe Yoshi P to make the die. No bribing. Nope. Maybe a chat or two. Not a bribe. Okay, well, one fun thing to note is not our assembly cast, but our regular Azure Fitted podcast is coming back, starting with our first recording tomorrow. We'll be recording twice a week, every other week. So we'll have a good number of maybe 3 to 4 episodes a month now. That'll be something that will cover a little bit of Azure stuff. Even though we talk about a lot during the assembly, that gets put into the assembly cast. So we'll just talk about the basics and what's coming up real soon. And then the rest of the podcast will actually discuss some video games, maybe share some opinions, talk about what we're playing, and it'll regularly be open for scouts and up who want to come on and chat about these things. For those in our community that are in assist and council, we did do a shout out recently to see who wanted to join. If there was anybody else that might want to join, just let us know. We have a podcast role that unlocks a podcast channel with some topics, and it's very much a as you're available type thing. It's not kind of really like any expectation, but I'll be hosting it twice a week, every other week, and then it will help kind of be like an extra resource for our community to be able to get to know those on the podcast and those in our ranks. as well as have another chance to hear some announcements like these in a shorter form, and maybe folks that are like going to work or jogging or at the gym, or they want to throw on the Azure podcast, listen to it in the background while playing a game. Great way to get to know our ranks, as well as hear some of these updates and announcements for our community. And maybe some entertaining moments that we'll be able to kind of come up with and produce on our own, like we have with our previous episodes. The hiatus actually started towards the end of last year. We wanted to get through the holidays. And then ever since January, we have been really, really busy with a lot of scheduling. And, we kicked the year off with redoing Wednesday, how Wednesdays operate, finding a better path on that. That's been popular. Map donations and map funding. Map funding was done away with, and we found a better way to do that. We've been just overhauling all kinds of resources and wings and promotions and trainings, and there's just been a lot of good things going on. So that was just one last thing to kind of work on scheduling. So what's really nice too is that those who have signed up for our all new version of the podcast that is returning now, we have like 2 different groups too, which is cool. So there'll be a few different voices depending on the episode. So that'll kind of keep things fresh. Folks that are available on Sunday and folks that are available on Fridays when we record. So it's going to be really cool. Definitely looking forward to those coming back to our channel. And then we were looking into putting that on Spotify as well. And so that's coming up. As far as community needs goes, one of the biggest things besides the norm being things like recruits and resources and help and hosts and folks stepping up to scout, we chat's making me laugh again. We do have one very, 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 very specific need that is a need that can get really expensive really fast for the FC. And if there's anybody out there that is just looking to spend some extra time in FF14 to get a very needed resource for the FC, we are in dire need of Magitech repair materials. There are some servers out there that craft them all day long and sell them on the market board, but to buy them in mass to the extent that we need them, it can be very, very expensive. They can be crafted, and for some, it might even be an easy craft to just auto craft, a stack of 99 here and there. Anybody that wants to contribute Magitech repair materials and wants to put them in tab 4 or 5, where the council and I can access them and they can't be randomly removed, we will love you for it. Right now we're operating a project that is running a lot of submarines, and they need to be repaired like almost every other day. So we're going through them and burning through them like mad, and it's a couple mil, like at least a week in these things. So if you're looking for something to do that will really benefit Azure, Magitech repair materials, very, very helpful. That's really the main thing off the top of my head. Of course, we are always looking forward to meeting people who want to talk about stepping up in Azure and rank. Keep in mind that this is something that is not ever meant to be any sort of stressful thing or serious time commitment. The way ranks work in our FC might be different than what people are used to in other groups, other FCs or guilds. We kind of provide a support structure that's a non-authority type rank called Scout. It's what you make of it. Scouts kind of are like light mods that are eyes and ears of the FC. The more active ones that also get involved with events become sergeants, and then train and become scout captains. And scout captains are who we choose future council leaders from. There's never any sort of pressure at all to promote. People can stay at whatever rank they like. As I always say, it's a type of horizontal system, the way I look at it, because we need good people at every level. We need great scouts and great sergeants and great captains and great lieutenants and great generals. So, it's also something that can be stepped down from at any time with no hard feelings. But when you are a scout, you will get access to support channels and be able to see recruitment reports, event reports. There's channels that you can ping leaders in case there's a serious need or something important, or even, just keep a log of things you notice in the FC. Like, hey, this person's been looking for some help for a while and, they could use a hand. That's great for us to know, for scouts to post things like that. And then every once in a while, we do have an assist meeting. Assist stands for Azure Scout Squad Initiative and Support Team. That's the official terminology for the backbone structure of our support team in Azure. So between support, leadership, and membership, our ranks are divided in those three categories for our ultimate organization and operation of these things. And there is a forum on the website for Assist that those who are registered on the website can access, which contains helpful links and resources that scouts can use if they wish to. They, need access to some of them. Things like our ban list and stuff like that are important to have. But other than that, just having access to those things and being eyes and ears is what makes a scout. So, yes. Yeah, like Rack said, if you want to be what we sometimes refer to as a career scout, you're just somebody that is like, yeah, I'd like to be, just a level above member and be able to kind of like, post something helpful amongst those support channels once in a while, or if I see something, I can log it there. That helps us tremendously. And we are a team. Don't forget, we are a team. So if one person, and this can go for the whole FC, you don't have to be a scout to be helpful. If one person did something nice for another member every day, just once per person per day, that'd be a lot of stuff going on. I mean, between council and scouts, we're talking 30-something people all being involved by doing one nice thing, jumping into a run where somebody doesn't have anybody to get them through a dungeon, or telling a newbie how something works, or just being resourceful, as a member. It's fantastic when you interact with the community as a rank. It's got a lot of, it has a lot of impression. So it's, people could be like, wow, these guys really care about their community, and we do. And that's why, we work really hard to let people know that, hey, this might be something that you were kind of intimidated by in another guild, but maybe you'd like to try seeing what it's like to rank up in Azure. And if you're not interested, also fine. We've got a lot of members that just kind of want to do their own thing and, don't want to be connected to those channels. And that's also completely fine. But overall, as a community, the health of the community improves with how much we water the community. So if we treat the community like a garden and we continue to tend to it, it will grow. It will become something beautiful and continue to prosper and bloom. But it has to be tended to. And so, just because we already have teams that do so doesn't mean that we don't need, people of all ranks to continue to be helpful and mindful of these things in the community. The reason why Azure is great is because of the amount of hands that are involved. The more that get involved, the more things we can accomplish, the more things that we can do for each other. When there's less stress on leadership because support is strong, leaders are able to manage more without being stressed or burnt out. We've seen this at all levels. So, this is your regular monthly shout out for the Scout Corps. And just a reminder that everybody in the community can be helpful in many ways. So whether you just pop on and you're like, hey, I'm a member, but I like to spur chat once in a while, let people know when you're doing something. I'm going to go do my roulettes. Does anybody want to join? And a message like that can go a long way. You might make a new friend. You might get zero response because everybody's doing other things. But that's okay. What matters is that you posted that, because if everybody stopped posting that, then, it becomes a dead chat. And, it's normal for chats to kind of die out in the middle of the night or things like that, or maybe midday when everybody's busy. But it's really good and really healthy when we, can see people posting stuff like that. Just letting folks know, I'm going to go, anybody want to come along? I'm going to go do this. Maybe they also need that thing. And then there you go, get people playing together. That's always really healthy. So just a little reminder on that. And Let's see here. We got a little bit of time left. We did go over a lot today. We talked a lot about the status of the recruitment campaign, our tournament, the upcoming field up. We talked about our wings, certain needs, things like that. So we did go over quite a bit today, and I do really appreciate everybody sticking around through most of this. We've got quite a bit of people with us on Twitch, and quite a bit of people here in the VC. So it's awesome. Let's go ahead and, I got one more thing. Yep. I was going to say Q&A, but I got one small thing. One small thing. The FC chest. Okay. Now, I don't do this very often, but I gotta wag my finger a bit and get on to some of you guys. The FC chest has recently been a mess, and I did a deep clean on it 2 or 3 days ago, and it became a mess again. This is just a reminder that tab 4, and not everybody knows, we know this, and we'll just, if we have to, we'll liquidate stuff and put money in the chest or whatever. But tab 4 is a donation tab. Tab 4 is not for a bunch of ARR mats and old junk that's not high quality, or stuff that's like a level 2 mage rod, or, just a pile of rings or things like that. Tab 4 is strictly for FC prize donations. We very much appreciate the goodwill and love that is behind these large amounts of drops in the chest, but it does cost us a little extra time to have to stop what we're doing, go through it, and sort it out and get rid of the really super cheap stuff that nobody wants. So, or stuff that we don't use. We don't use really, really, like, 200 gil prize. We don't need 100 stuffed alphas, for example. We don't need some stuff like that to be in there. So I know you're right, Roken. I really wish that they allowed people to label them. That would be really awesome. All we can really do is do what I'm doing now and mention it to the community once in a while. Don't forget, we do have chest rules in the additional information section on the charter. I know it's deep in there. It's like chapter, I don't know what number it is, but it's in there. And if you're going to dump a lot of stuff in the chest, just stand back for a second and think, okay, is this valuable? Is this something that people might use soon? Is it high quality material? Is it materia that's grade 8 plus? Because we don't accept materia that's under grade 8. Because we have to manage this often, this is just a disclaimer that, regardless of how much you wanted that old sword from Heavensward to be a prize, there's a good chance that it's going to get liquidated and the money's going to go in the chest. If it's a minion that's valuable, and valuable can be, that might be objective to someone's preference or opinion, but generally something that's like, probably upwards of 100K or more, I would say, is acceptable for prizes. A slightly more rare hairstyle or a nice minion that's good to have, not a bunch of rats from ARR, put something in there that, is like, oh, this isn't super common, but it's not, millions of gil unless it is and you want to donate it. Stuff like that is great for tab 4. That's 4. 5 is also a something that you can put into, but you can't take out of, because 4 and 5 are for council operation. That's mostly for our prize pool. 5 has workshop items like stuff for subs and so that's submarines and action crafting and stuff like that. But if 4 is full, you can put stuff in 5. We'll still put it in the prize pool retainer. But please, please, please don't put junk in the chest. And if you're not sure, you can always ask. You can say, hey, is this something that would be nice for the chest, or do you guys think this is junk? And we don't mind answering those questions. We'd rather answer those questions than spend half an hour going to the market board with everything in there and figuring out, what's junk and what's not. Some stuff's very obviously junk. But yeah, 20 stuffed alphas and a bunch of old materia and really old weapons and stuff is rough. Oh, repair kits can go in tab 4. That's great. 4 or 5 is perfect for that because those are the tabs that people can't take out of. You can put into. And we need the repair kits so bad. We need those so bad. We have something called the Azure Depot project where we've got multiple donated estates that come from council members who are part of the project. And they have submarines that are growing so that way we can get lots of prizes in the future, lots of guild prizes and stuff too. We're going to eventually get to the point where we have so much guild, we're not going to know what to do with all of it. But while those subs are growing, they take a full calendar year to grow. They need so many repair materials. Even the ones that are finished leveling, they need so many repair materials. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, 1200, perfect. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too. So currently, I think we've got 5 sets of subs, and about 1,000 kits we'll use every so many weeks. So that's why I say we need a lot. So like I said, there's folks that might be interested in helping get those and craft them and donate them. But and any guild put in the chest is going to go towards FC needs, and FC needs is basically future prizes that we invest in. There might be things that we're like, I don't know whatever's needed for like the workshops and stuff like that. It's always going to go into that. Maybe there's a moment where somebody shows up to an event and they need a piece of gear to get them into that event so they can get that clear. We'll do that too sometimes. But right now, you might notice that a lot of funds have been recently withdrawn. That's split between a lot of characters that are helping run the depot project right now, and a lot of it's actually coming back to the chest very soon. So things like that will always be like either mentioned or documented somewhere. Might not always be in our main channels. Right now the council is aware of like what we're doing in that direction. But yeah, repair materials, prize donations in tab 4, or stuff that, if you're trying to give something to the council, but the council's not on or can't trade right away or something, always good to put in 4 or 5. And the other ones, the materia is pretty obvious. They're all in a row that go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 slots going horizontal. And if we can keep it that way, it'd be awesome. I know a lot of people have been really helped recently, especially with the materia that's been donated. So thank you very much if you've donated any materia lately of those grades. Like I said, any lower grades will be removed. And there's not a million slots, and there's not a million tabs in the chest, so we only support so many different kinds of materia. But you'll see one tab has crafting and gathering, the other tab has battle materia. And then tab 1 is mainly for dye, high quality donated food, maybe something like chocobo food, cracker root. Anybody can take cracker root out of the tab 1 and train chocobos whenever they like to help. And yeah. That's about that for the chest. So I did want to give that a shout out because that was a recent issue that we had. But thank you guys for understanding that. And normally everybody is so kind about the chest that we don't even have those issues. So sometimes we don't even have people like taking the extra stuff that needs to be taken because then it'll fill up. So, take in moderation, but don't be afraid to take from it. There's stuff in there that's put in there for our members. Okay. All that being said, we are going to do one more raffle, and if any of my fellow council members here, if you want the floor for anything before we go into Q&A, just mention in chat or put up the raise hand thingy mabobber. We can pull you up to the stage. With Q&A, anybody can do that as well in the VC here. There's an option to request to speak, and then what I can do is I can just click a thing, and bam, it adds you to the stage here where I'm at. In game, if you want to take the floor, come up to the podium here that you see in the middle of the room. That's in front of the high table where the council is. If you're on Twitch and you've got a question, proposal, idea, static thing you want to mention, wedding, just anything that you would like the whole FC to know about or ask about. You can also just post that on Twitch, and I'll just read it out loud as well in the order that they come up. And that's the Q&A portion that we're starting. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold that last raffle now. This is a little bit of a bigger prize, something that's also kind of a pain to farm. Feel free to put in a 3-digit number in any of our chats and /random anytime to enter. Again, I appreciate everybody for sticking around here throughout this assembly. Remember that in Q&A, like I said, you can put the request to speak up in the channel, type a question in any of the chats, and we'll read it off as well. Any feedback, questions about stuff we've talked about today, like I said, any proposals, questions, if you just want to say this is the best FC ever, feel free. If you'd like to let us know what you thought of certain events, or there's something you want to see us do, or anything like that, it's a good time. Also, not everybody likes to do that publicly, so if you want to reach out afterwards, you're welcome to as well. Okay, I see some numbers coming in. Awesome, awesome. Ooh, Def rolled an 18. All right, last chance to post a 3-digit number in any of the chats. That's Twitch chat, Azure Grand Assembly VC chat, or a 3-digit raffled random number. Magitech repair materials, yes, that's the one. We need like thousands, like tens of thousands of those. So whatever is donated is helpful, very helpful. Basically what those translate to is helping ships go out to get ship experience, the subs, and then the subs, when they get to a certain level, will continue to bring in gil for the FC, like a lot of gil. Once each of the depots are leveled up fully, each of the workshops, they will bring in somewhere around 14 mil per estate. And we've got a whole number of those. And that 14 mil per estate, when that finally gets fully established, will eventually all go into the FC chest for giveaways. So it's gonna be good. All right, I'll go ahead and post the raffle result here. 367. All right, let's see here. $367. Okay, we have a 349 on one chat. Okay. Let's see. Just double checking all the numbers, making sure. There's one lower 400. I think the 349 is probably the closest one. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Hector with the 349. 349 in VC chat here. Yep, yeah, there's nothing closer than that. All right, Hector. All right, yeah. Hector had 349, so that's pretty close. Congrats. Let me see, where are you at? Let's see. Gotta find you. Are you in game? Yeah, you are. You are in game. Are you here in the assembly? You're at the yard. All right, if you want to come up to the assembly and trade me, you can. Otherwise, I'll trade it to you whenever we are in the same proximity. But I got your prize. Upstairs in the FC hall in the assembly room. And that is the Quetzalcoatl horn. There you are. Yep. Here you go. Congratulations. Yep, that is the mount that you can get from collecting 3 of the gemstones by getting higher floors in our map events and in map content from Dawn Trail. Congratulations. Yep, like I said, it's a little bit of a pain to have to farm, but when you collect them all, you get that. And that's the finished one, so you've got it now, if you didn't already have it. Yep, Cenote Jaja Gural. All right, like I said, this is our Q&A portion. I'm looking around, seeing if there's any questions. If anybody wants to post in any chat at all, I can read it off if you want to. Okay. All right, yeah, and if you want to take the VC stage to ask or announce something, you're also welcome to request to speak in the stage chat. Here in FF14, we see there's a couple here. Okay, Vesna, could we do a VNC event for all the secrets? That is variant and criterion dungeon. I know this question has come up in the past, and I don't remember. It's been a while. What we talked about before, or how viable it is as an event, because for an event we want to make sure we have a clear goal. We want to make sure that we have hosts who are knowledgeable enough about the content to be able to lead it, a grouping that can clearly group for it. This is like why POTD was kind of difficult, because a lot of people wanted to have the same parties and stuff. But our events are also open invite, show up at the yard, be grouped style events. If we can find a way to clearly group for it and pick, like, these weeks we're doing this dungeon or something like that. It also need, like, does it need a full party? I don't think it does it? I don't know about criterion. I know the variant ones. That's a good question. It's a 4-man? Okay. I haven't done those. I did the first one. I did the first one, but it's been a really long time. And I soloed it just to see the first, or one or two runs of it that I did. They do have a lot of different paths, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Criterion is hard. Yeah, like that's why I said I don't know about Criterion. For variant, just to clear it, or to have it as just, oh, we're off to explore variant and see what happens type event. Maybe. And I'm not saying that something can't be organized in a way that we could have like a targeted goal. But again, there needs to be enough people like needing it or wanting it, and for it to be like kind of a useful thing. Because like if it's kind of a just for fun thing, not always do people go, oh, that drives me to attend it. A lot of our events have stuff that people need each week, or things that benefit the current content. And yes, it can be cleared. It can be cleared solo as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I think this is the conversation we had before, was it wasn't super easy to group for when our events are very like, anybody or any number could show up. You could be odd number of people. There could be like more that show up because it's smaller groups than we have hosts for. Mhm. Time consuming. Yeah, that's kind of like what I was saying too. Like with POTD, people wanted it to be more like a static thing, and made it hard for it to be an ongoing grouping. Yeah, the mounts from it are really cool. It does feel like this might better fit the LFG channel, to where, 3 or 4 players who also want that sort of thing can kind of group up and decide like, hey, let's meet up on these days, and do our thing. As like I said, for an official event, we're going to need like a lot of people needing it and wanting to come back, and also regular attendees as well. Yeah, like Kiki said as well. Sometimes it takes some experimentation. Sometimes we actually need somebody who's like on the ground doing it, and might discover a way to put it together. But stuff like Blue Mage, and variants and stuff like that. This is niche content that is not currently in the like needed rotation of weekly stuff. I mean, I guess like you don't need maps, but maps also give you tomes, and they also give you, good income and stuff like that. Raids, those are weeklies. Some of the other stuff we do contribute to stuff that's really current. I know when a new variant comes out, people get really excited about it and do like to do it, but it's something we've also seen like the last 2 that have come out. A bunch of people soloed them and then they were done and didn't want to come back. And we saw like one group of 4 people right before Dawn Trail that went and did Aloe Aloe and I think Mount Rokon, or probably just Aloe Aloe together. And they were the only 4 that I saw in the FC do that together for over like a year. So it's just one of those things. It's niche, and it's really like most of the time the same people want to do it, or people just want to solo it. But again, LFG channel, you never know. There's a lot of people. I see the stats. I see the stats of people checking the channel, and there's a lot of people who check that channel, even if they don't post in it. They just peek in to see what's in there, and then somebody might post something they want to do, and 3 or 4 people reply, "Hey, let's do it." I think that's kind of better suited to something like that. But it is a great question. It's content that when it was announced, I wanted to see it used, or wanted to know how it could be, utilized. Rack. Yeah, with Cosmic X. So I haven't started that yet. Is there anything event viable to it, like for real, or Rack? It's boring. Okay. I think again that's also just content that's something that I think people will do as needed or as interested until whatever they get done is done, and then that's it. Well, they did say new planets each patch or something like that. Just I didn't want to forget this, Bryce. Since you asked about training, being a sergeant, you are the first rank that's cleared to request training for an event. So, what you need to do is let us know what you're interested in getting involved in, and then I'll send you a DM, and we'll talk about where to place you. Everything is open for people that want to help host. And if you're interested in ranking up too, that's another way to get involved, is to host. And we need backup hosts too. And what we consider backup is, it's kind of an unofficial term. It's just adding your name to the list, and then in the order of the numbers on the that we have on the duty roster is what we go by. So, first, second, third priority hosts and stuff like that. So everybody knows who's doing what if somebody else doesn't show up. Magitech repair materials, awesome, thank you. Everything helps. Legit solo content? Okay. All right, looking around. I see Hector is flying around on his mount. Yep. Yeah, congrats again. See the screenshot there. Yep. Okay, and again, last call for questions, proposals, ideas, feedback. If you just want to let us know how you feel about something in the FC or the FC itself, or let us know how we're doing. If you've got an idea that we could use to think about organizing something, or maybe a question that we might be able to answer. Like I said, we can't promise everything will happen, but just knowing what the interests are might spur a conversation that could get something going. There's one person right there who wants to do VNC. Yeah. Yeah, if you post a question in the chat, I'll read it out for the stream and for those that aren't in game. And if it's something that you want to post, like, privately. Oh, okay, I see what you did. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yep. Roken is pleased. All right. Anybody else? Anybody that wants to take the stage? Any questions, proposals, feedback, ideas, anything like that? Any statics? Any other LFG type shout outs, or any type of weddings? Anything that would be good for the community to know? Anything like that? I'm trying to think if I know of anything off the top of my head. I don't think I do. Unless I'm forgetting something. Oh, very cool. See, Marshall here wrote something nice for everybody. Says in the Discord Grand Assembly chat. Hey, Azure community and the awesome Reka. Oh, thank you. I am truly touched by your incredible support. You all make this community feel like a warm, epic adventure. I'm so grateful to be a part of. Your kindness and camaraderie light up my world. If anyone's ever stuck or needs a chat, please reach out. I'm here for you, just like you've been for me. Oh, and for all you World of Warcraft and Star Citizen fans, got questions or want to geek out over quests and space battles? I'm your guy. Let's keep the good vibes and epic journeys going strong. Well said, Marshall. Well said. Alrighty. Well, it's been my pleasure to present to you all and talk about all the upcoming fun stuff for our FC, our wings, all the different guilds, clans, organizations, and more, and beyond across all of our worlds and across Azure universe. It's been a lot of fun. Congrats to those who won raffles. And it's nice to have our monthly assemblies again. We've been doing bi-weekly, like I said, throughout the past year, just kind of see how that worked. But I think it's very important to have these and touch base with you all. And again, if anyone here is interested in stepping up into our scouts, let us know. We've got some light reading material to kind of give a little bit of a welcome package and idea on what to expect. Again, it's what you make of it. Those that might have more ideas or some other things they'd like to post, don't forget there's a ticket system here in Discord too. If you have something that you want to put forward for the council, or you just want to DM somebody, DM me. Again, LFG channel is a great place to post something you might want to do in case others might want to do that too. And continue to be awesome, active members. Thank you again to the attending council members here and those who were not here with us or were here with us earlier. Just thank you to everybody for your support for Azure Infinitum as this amazing community continues to thrive and develop. And as always, as free as the Azure sky. Thank you, guys.